before I dive into my coverage for Friday the 13th, Part 8, The New Blood, I want to give a shout out to Lar Park Lincoln, who played Tina Shepard in this movie, because she recently passed away, and I really liked her work when it came to the movies that she was in, when it came to the TV shows that she took part in as well. Like, she was just a really good actress, and I just want to give my love to her, her family, anyone else that's close to her as well. And thank you for everything. Thank you for everything that you have done for your fans over the years. And what I'm going to be talking about within this video itself is just several topics that I want to highlight when it comes to my overall thought process behind The New Blood. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. So the plot of Friday the 13th, The New Blood, centers around Tina Shepard, a young woman with telekinetic abilities. As a child, Tina unintentionally caused her abusive father's death by using her powers to collapse a dock, drowning him in Crystal Lake. Years later, as a teenager, she returns to the lake with her mother, Amanda Shepard, and her psychiatrist, Dr. Cruz, who claims the trip will help her cope with her guilt. In reality, Dr. Cruz is manipulating Tina to study her powers, and his plan backfires when Tina's emotional distress accidentally frees Jason Voorhees, who has been chained underwater since the events of Jason Lives. Nearby, a group of teenagers have gathered at a cabin to celebrate their friend Michael's birthday. As Jason emerges from the lake, he begins targeting these teens, unaware of Tina's presence. Tina experiences psychic visions of Jason's actions, which intensify her emotional turmoil and cause her telekinesis to spiral out of control. Dr. Cruz exploits her instability, putting everyone in danger as Jason's rampage continues unchecked. The story builds towards a confrontation between Tina and Jason, with her powers offering a new way to challenge the iconic killer. The narrative focuses on Tina's psychological struggle as much as it does on Jason's violence. Her guilt over her father's death and her fear of losing control give the film a dramatic weight that's unusual for the series. Meanwhile, the teenagers' subplot provides the expected slasher elements, with Jason stalking and eliminating them one by one. The pacing falters at times, particularly in scenes with the teens who lack depth, but the tension rises as Tina's visions draw her closer to Jason. The climax, which I won't spoil, delivers a dramatic and surprising resolution. The plot's attempt to blend Tina's emotional journey of Jason's terror is ambitious, setting The New Blood apart from earlier entries. While the story doesn't always balance these elements perfectly, its willingness to experiment with a supernatural twist makes it memorable. For me, the narrative's focus on Tina's inner conflict and her eventual stand against Jason is what drives the film's appeal. Now, Tina Shepard, portrayed by Lar Park Lincoln, is the protagonist of The New Blood and one of the most distinctive characters in the Friday the 13th series. She's a teenager burdened by the accidental death of her father, which she caused of her telekinetic powers as a child. This tragedy leaves her wrecked of guilt and emotionally fragile, making her vulnerable to manipulation by her psychiatrist, Dr. Cruz. Tina's complexity, with her mix of vulnerability and inner strength, sets her apart from the typical survivors in these films, and Lincoln's performance conveys her pain and determination with authenticity. Tina's telekinesis allows her to move objects with her mind, and her abilities are closely tied to her emotions. When she's frightened or angry, her powers manifest in dramatic ways, such as a levitating furniture or hurling objects across rooms. She also experiences precognitive visions, seeing glimpses of Jason's attacks before they happen, which adds to her distress but also her resolve. The film establishes her powers early, showing her struggle to control them, though some later uses of her telekinesis stretch believability, creating minor inconsistencies in how her abilities function. What makes Tina compelling is her growth throughout the film. Initially, she's overwhelmed by guilt and doubt, manipulated by Dr. Cruz, and hesitant to embrace her powers. As she confronts Jason and witnesses the destruction he causes, she finds the courage to fight back, using her telekinesis in creative and powerful ways. Its transformation from a traumatized teen to a determined fighter is inspiring, and it gives the film a heroic core that feels fresh for the franchise. Tina's emotional depth resonates with me. Her struggle to overcome her past and take control of her abilities make her relatable, even in the exaggerated context of a slasher film. While some viewers might find her emotional outbursts repetitive, I see them as a natural response to her circumstances. Her telekinesis not only makes her a unique adversary for Jason, but also symbolizes her journey toward empowerment. Tina's character is the highlight of The New Blood, and her story leaves a lasting impression. Jason Voorhees' appearance and performance in The New Blood are striking thanks to the work of actor and stuntman Kane Hodder, who takes on the role for the first time. After being submerged in Crystal Lake for years, Jason's design reflects his decayed, undead state. His clothing is tattered, revealing exposed bones, including parts of his spine and ribcage, and his skin is scarred from past injuries. His hockey mask, weathered and cracked, adds to his menacing presence, and when it's removed, his face, a lipless, eyeless skull, is horrifyingly grotesque. Hodder's portrayal brings a new intensity to Jason. His movements are deliberate and heavy, emphasizing Jason's size and strength. Unlike earlier films where Jason can feel mechanical, Hodder infuses the character with a sense of purpose, from the way he stalks his victims to how he reacts to Tina's telekinetic attacks. His physicality is impressive, enduring stunts like being set on fire or thrown through structures, which reinforces Jason's unstoppable nature. Hodder's performance makes Jason feel both monstrous and at times subtly expressive. The design's attention to detail is remarkable. Director John Carl Buechler, a special effects expert, ensured that Jason's wounds reflect his history of injuries across the series, creating a visual continuity that rewards attentive fans. The prosthetics and makeup are meticulously crafted, giving Jason a decayed yet imposing look that holds up even today. The unmasking scene where Tina uses her powers to expose Jason's face is a chilling highlight that showcases the craftsmanship behind his appearance. For me, this version of Jason is the most memorable in the franchise. Hodder's ability to convey menace through his body language, combined with the grotesque yet iconic design, makes Jason a true horror legend in The New Blood. His presence dominates every scene, and the balance of physical power and eerie stillness creates a villain who's both terrifying and captivating. This film marks the beginning of Hodder's iconic run as Jason, and it's easy to see why he became the definitive actor for the role. Now, the kills in Friday the 13th: The New Blood are a key element of its horror, with Jason eliminating around 15 victims. He uses a range of weapons, including a machete, an axe, a tent spike, and even a power trimmer, ensuring variety in his attacks. Notable kills include a victim struck in the face with an axe, another slammed into a tree while inside a sleeping bag, and a gruesome death involving a party horn in the eye. Each kill is distinct, reflecting Jason's relentless creativity in dispatching his targets. Unfortunately, the Motion Picture Association of America required significant cuts to the film's violence, reducing the gore in several scenes. Moments that could have been graphic, such as the head-crushing kill or detailed decapitation, were edited to quick shots or off-screen implications, which lessens their impact. These cuts, enforced to secure an R rating, are noticeable, and the original uncut footage was reportedly destroyed, leaving only work print versions to hint at what was lost. Despite this, the kills remain effective due to their staging and variety. The special effects overseen by the director, John Carl Buechler, are a strength of the film. Practical effects like explosions, fires, and collapsing structures add spectacle to the action, particularly in the climax. Tina's telekinesis scenes feature objects moving through the air, though some effects like invisible wires show the limitations of the 1988 budget. Jason's makeup, including his decayed body and facial prosthetics is a standout, enhancing the horror of his kills and his battles with Tina. I appreciate the effort behind the kills and effects, even with the MPAA's restrictions, and the creativity in Jason's methods kept the film engaging, and the practical effects lend a gritty realism to the supernatural elements, while the censorship is a drawback. The technical work, especially with the stunts and makeup, elevate the film's intensity, and for me, the kills and effects capture the chaotic energy of the New Blood, making it a thrilling, if slightly compromised, slasher experience. Now, reflecting on Friday the 13th, The New Blood, I find it to be a standout in the series for its bold choices. The decision to pit Jason against a telekinetic protagonist is a refreshing departure from the franchise's usual structure. Tina's story, with its focus on guilt and empowerment, adds an emotional layer that makes the film more than just a slasher. While the concept of blending supernatural elements and horror isn't entirely new, its execution here feels innovative for a series known for straightforward kills. The performance of Lar Park Lincoln and Kane Hodder are highlights for me. Tina's journey from fragility to strength is compelling, and Hodder's Jason is a terrifying force elevated by his design and physicality. The film's ambition to tell a character-driven story alongside Jason's rampage is admirable, even if the pacing and secondary characters don't always support it. The integration of telekinesis into a slasher framework creates memorable moments, particularly in the final confrontation, which I find both dramatic and satisfying. That said, the film has its flaws. The MPAA's cuts to the violence and are frustrating as they dilute some of the kills that define the genre. Additionally, the teenage characters, aside from Tina, lack development, making their scenes feel like filler. Yet these issues don't overshadow the film's strengths for me. The atmosphere driven by the lake setting and Harry Manfredini's score captures the eerie essence of the series while introducing new ideas. The New Blood is a film I enjoy revisiting, as it balances innovation in the core elements of a Friday the 13th movie. Jason's terror, suspenseful kills, and a resilient survivor. I rank it among my favorite entries in the franchise for its daring approach and memorable characters. If you're looking for a slasher with a unique twist, I recommend giving it a watch and forming your own opinion. It's a fascinating chapter in the Crystal Lake saga that deserves its appreciation. So that concludes my thoughts for Friday the 13th, The New Blood. I really enjoyed going back, just expressing how I felt about the film. When it came to the kills, the special effects, when it came to Kane Hodder as Jason, which I actually had the chance to meet him, and he's a pretty cool guy. And also, the amount of work that Lar Park Lincoln gave to Tina Shepard in this film. If you guys have any thoughts of your own when it comes to how you truly felt about The New Blood, be sure to let me know down below. And if you guys enjoy this video, as always, be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. If you guys want to follow me on my social media, be sure to check out my X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. All the links to those are located in the description below. Be sure to click on that bell for notifications so you guys are notified whenever I'm dropping a video on the channel. But other than that, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever the day may be, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.